I don't want to hurt you. Ladies and gentlemen, make some noise for the richest man in the world. Cheers and booze, I see.
What's going on, everyone? Jeremy here from The Recording, and it's been an Elon-orific weekend, including Elon showing up at the Dave Chappelle show in San Francisco, and it didn't quite go as planned. What's interesting, I think, is the way that the media is reporting it. Now, Elon Musk showed up at the Dave Chappelle show in the heart of San Francisco, where he was met by a non-insignificant amount of boos. You could definitely hear the boos. I don't think Elon's used to that ever. Many of them probably laid off Twitter employees. Dave Chappelle did what he could to defend him. But what I found extremely interesting is the way the media has reported it. We have like 0 articles on Twitter, former Twitter staff infringing on our First Amendment rights and putting their hand on the scale of the election. But we have 800,000 articles about Elon Musk getting booed. That shows you their journalistic integrity for you. That shows you exactly who these losers are. And we're going to get into that after a super quick word from this video sponsor, Private Internet Access. Huge shout out to this video sponsor, Private Internet Access. Look, it's 2022 going on 2023. If you don't have a VPN, you're missing out on a ton of benefits. Not just a more secure connection, but if you're paying for Netflix, Disney Plus, or any other streaming service, you're already getting locked out of a ton of additional content that you could be enjoying if you used a VPN. And since they've been sponsoring the channel so long, they've rolled out a massive discount for my viewers. That's right, 84% off plus 4 months free. It's $2.03 a month, 4 months free, 84% off. Private Internet Access also offers privacy on all your devices, lightning fast global server network. And look, outside of all the additional content you're going to be able to view out there using Private Internet Access, it also has a strict no logs policy. It's open source. It has state-of-the-art updates. It's instant to set up. You can put it on all of your devices, your tablet, your computer, your mobile phones. It has unlimited bandwidth and so much more. If you don't have a VPN yet, make today the day. Use my link in the description to get Private Internet Access, start being more secure, and unlock loads more content. Now, Elon, again, funny, if you try to find mainstream media covering any of the Twitter files, we have now 5 releases at this point, where, including today, where internal Twitter staff is caught red-handed, banning the sitting president with even admitting that he had not broken any rules, also having the sitting president or having a Twitter staff perjure themselves, all revealed in the Twitter files. I think we're going to talk about that today too, because there's a lot of big important nuggets in there. But I think it's interesting that there's hundreds of articles from mainstream media about a nothing burger. Tech billionaire Elon Musk was met with a mixture of boos and cheers from an audience at Dave Chappelle comedy show. The comedian brought the Tesla CEO on stage, the special Punchline Comedy Club event at the Chase Center in San Francisco. In the video shared on Twitter, the crowd can be heard jeering Musk, who recently purchased a social media platform, has attracted criticism due to concerns about mass layoffs and looser content moderation. Ladies and gentlemen, let's make some noise for the richest man in the world. Chappelle tells the audience a number of audience members cheered, though there was a loud chorus of boos as well. You weren't expecting this, were you? Musk tells Chappelle following the boos. Chappelle responds, it sounds like some of those people you fired are in the audience. I mean, for the most part, Chappelle defended him the whole time, telling the crowd to shut up and stop booing and stuff like that. Later in the video, Chappelle says, all those people that are booing, I'm just pointing out the obvious, they have terrible seats in the stadium. I mean, way in the back. The owner of the video that was posted to Twitter appears to have had their account suspended or had it taken down, with a message reading, the tweet from the account no longer exists. Twitter, which laid off several communications staffers in its move to cut roughly half of its workforce, was not immediately available for comment. A Twitter user, James Yu, who said he was at the Chappelle show, tweeted a good 80% of the stadium boos. It wasn't. 18,000 people. Dave gave him so many chances to speak, but he just put his hands in his pocket. Well, I actually feel bad for him. I'm by no means an Elon fanboy, more of a centrist. I wanted to shake him and say, for the love of God, man, say something and pretend it's a tweet. Musk responded to the booing in a tweet on Monday, writing, quote, technically, it was 90% cheers, 10% boos, except during the quiet periods. But still, that's a lot of boos, which for me is a first in real life, frequent on Twitter. It's almost as if I've offended San Francisco's unhinged leftists, but nah. Some of the conservative-leaning tycoons' tweets have angered Democrats, LGBTQ activists, and more. I think, again, Elon gets viciously booed at stadium crowd Dave Chappelle show. You shut the F up, Dave Chappelle said as the crowd booed the billionaire. I'm afraid to play the video because it seems like it's getting flagged. But you could see some of the, some of the interesting things. Cheers and boos, I see Elon. Chappelle said, hey, Dave, Musk responded, prompting yet another wave of boos. Sounds like some people you fired are in the audience, Chappelle joked. All these people who are booing, I'm just pointing out the obvious, you have terrible seats, Chappelle said, apparently trying to save Musk's dignity by calling the people who booing poor. Phones weren't allowed inside the stadium. Well, that's probably why the video was taken down for the show, but at least one person snuck theirs in and captured the bizarre exchange. Chappelle tried to salvage the encounter, according to a second video posted to Twitter, joking that the whole business model is F Earth, I'm leaving anyway. What kind of pee they got up there? That's what I'll be doing, Chappelle said in another video. After Chappelle jokes about adult clubs in space, the crowd seemed to be properly won over, and Musk started to speak again. Thanks for having me up on stage, Musk said awkwardly to more boos. The first comedy club on Mars, Chappelle said, as Musk stood awkwardly just saying, yeah. As the laughs for Chappelle jokes would get drowned out by boos anytime Musk tried to talk, the comedian said that people that would boo all they want because Musk had given him a jetpack last Christmas. Every single time Musk began to speak, the crowd started booing again, much to the frustration of Musk. Dave, what should I say? Musk said, clearly desperate and getting embarrassed at the roaring booing. Don't say nothing. It'll spoil the moment, Chappelle said. Do you hear that sound, Elon? That's a sound of pending civil unrest. I can't wait to see what store you decimate next, MFer. You shut the F up. The mood in the stadium definitely changed when Chappelle started to get hostile in defense of Musk. I wish everyone in this auditorium peace and joy of feeling free, Chappelle said, clearly exhausted that bringing Musk on stage had been such a failure, and your pursuit of happiness. Amen. At that point, Chappelle clearly decided to throw in the towel, thanking the crowd and saying goodnight. But a third video shows Chris Rock joining the stage with a few other people. One of the men on stage asked Chappelle to shout the catchphrase from his 2000s sketch, I'm Rich B, into the mic. The man dutifully complies, then says, wait, while handing the microphone, clearly wanting him to say the same thing Musk does. In the most awkward tone you could imagine, the crowd again erupts into boos, only drowned out by someone in the stadium sound department honking a horn of some sort. It's difficult to tell from the video precisely what percentage of the crowd was booing. Well, it wasn't 80%, but, it's easy. Obviously easy to play armchair quarterback afterwards, but at least say something like, thanks, now pay me $8, and mic drop would have gotten a laugh. He did mumble something about it being a simulation, but it felt totally off vibe for the crowd. Yeah, I mean, look, I can't imagine why people would think that Elon Musk would be liked in San Francisco. I think if Elon had gone on stage in Austin or if really anywhere else, it would have been fine. He did respond to it and say, technically, it was 90% cheers and 10% boos, except for during the quiet periods. But still, that's a lot of boos, which for me is the first time. Sure. All this is going to do, by the way, is make him come harder at a lot of these leftists. So I said this in an earlier video, or on an earlier tweet. All this does is galvanize Elon. It's like when people get when you're dogpiling on somebody and they're getting angry about it, they're only going to double down. People don't just say, "Oh, that's okay, you're right," blah blah blah. He's just going to double down. I mean, it's Elon Musk. I would fully expect even more. Like, I would not have been shocked if the very first thing Elon did today when he walked back into Twitter was to unban Alex. Like, I know they had the Twitter files to kind of cover this. And I also think, let me say for a moment, you know, shout out to everybody on YouTube and Twitter and Instagram or wherever platform, Rumble that you're on, who are covering this, covering Twitter files, because it's extremely important. I think the information we found out today should and will lead to lawsuits. It's embarrassing that the mainstream media wrote so many articles about this stupid incident in San Francisco. Chappelle or Musk should have known better. I mean, it's San Francisco. I mean, even if it is a Chappelle show, you know what I mean? Like, there's a lot. I mean, just think about it. You know, there were probably hundreds of Twitter employees at that, ex-Twitter employees at that show. I mean, just to put it in perspective, or you know, their friends or their family. I mean, there were probably 1,000 people out of the 18,000 that knew or were indirectly related to someone who got fired by Elon Musk. And then obviously you have, you know, the natural politics of San Francisco on top of all of that. So, you know, I think all this is going to do is going to galvanize him. And what an embarrassing day for mainstream media. Hundreds of articles about this and nothing about how Twitter interfered allegedly in the previous presidential election, something that they supposedly care about, but I guess only when Republicans win. I hope you enjoyed this video, and it's time for Christmas. Ho, ho, ho! Merry Christmas! It's Christmas time. Somebody said that this was in upside down. It looks like it is. So I'm trying not to look at it and fix it so we can still enjoy. Oh, I'm not looking. Oh, it was upside down. Okay. But then that means some days we're not going to get a prize. Oh no, what do I do? Okay, here's what we're going to do. We're just going to go through what's here. So it's the 12th. We go to the 1st. It's Santa Mario. I probably shouldn't have done that. I should have just left it, I guess. It's hard to say because what do you do? Because now it's clearly the correct orientation because all the spacing's right. This is cute. Little Mario. So I think today we have to open up 3. So the 2nd, we get a Yoshi egg. Allegedly. If I could get it out. There we go. Little Yoshi egg. And then we'll go to the 3rd. And we got Luigi. Oh, it's a Luigi. Big fan of Luigi. Constantly underrated. Ah! His head came off. Okay. I just have to keep in track. I mean, they're not going to totally be in order. Hopefully the 25th is still intact. Yeah. It's a pretty good posable Luigi. Merry Christmas.